Hello everyone, welcome back to Deep Night Detective. I'm going to continue this today. I have a lot more time to record today, so I'm probably just going to record this one straight through to the end now. This is, again, just chapter 1 of this game. I think I incorrectly said it's a demo. It's not a demo, it's the first chapter's available for free, and then the rest will be available for download when they're, actually ready. I've done a few test recordings. I think this sounds okay, right? My only problem is that one of my USBs that I kept my headset in, it's all bent out of shape, so it's crackling when I'm talking. So I've decided to use a different one, but for some reason that changes completely how the setup is. Like people on Discord say I sound different. It's fucking weird. Well, one person says I'm sounding too quiet, one person says I've not changed it. I don't know, maybe it's just Discord's weird, but whatever. Let me get back into this load game. Yeah. You don't seem to have a map. Did it delete my map? It's amazing what you can forget in 5 days of not doing anything. I'm sure this is the lady in the dark. Did I not save it after talking to her? Oh, hello there. I made great main darkness. Hi there. Okay, let's I'm going to skip her because obviously I have talked to her, it's just obviously not saved. Yeah. I just went through all her dialogue again, nothing was new, so either it's just not I've forgot to save it, or it's just not, it just repeats the dialogue when you speak to them. Hindsight, I probably could have just looked at my case log, eh? Oh well, whatever. Hi, phone. Can I make that jump? I don't think I can make that jump, can I? Well, we're committed to being here now. Bad snake. Looks like a rejected Pokemon idea. Ooh, I can hang my coat up here. Don't know why I'd want to, but I can. It's a door. Hello, Mannheim. Hey there, Mannheim. Could hardly see you in here. Detective. What the hell is this place? I grumble in no particular direction, trying to squint through the darkness. This room seems, by all appearance, to be the source of trouble. You're kidding. There's nothing in here. No ghost, no spectrum R, no auratic residue, not even a common geospiritual murmur. Nothing. Allow me to get the lights. I can hear Mannheim's footsteps approaching the back wall. Kerchunk. Powers be, seek vessel for something. The powers that be seek a vessel for the darkest ambitions of mankind. Mannheim, what the hell is this? Clears his throat like a woodchipper digesting a stone. We found it shortly after the police visited. It raised supernatural suspicions. I mean, I guess. I beg your pardon, sir. The one semitone raise in Mannheim's otherwise totally monotone voice tells me I caught him off guard. It's just that... where do I even start? I guess I'm going to have to trust he can handle me being a little frank. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Someone playing a prank on you. Mannheim asks me to explain. I'll give him the insider knowledge, he's a smart dude. Well, Mannheim, there's no reason for this thing to, in your mind. I don't understand the phrase in that. Well, Mannheim, there's no reason for this thing to... in your mind, why is all this here? Imagine you're the best person to go for that kind of information, Detective Spooky. Alright, be that way then. First instinct, Mannheim, that this is a summoning, except There's no ritual here, it's just a bunch of stuff. A summon ritual is there to draw power or creatures towards a point in our dimension. But this is just like a star and a picture of a person. I mean, you summoned me, Mannheim. Remember what you had to do? Draw a very weird symbol and put it in a really specific point above my summoning place, then put a candle lit specifically with lithium chloride behind it. Mannheim drops his head to think for a moment, and then he nods. Well, this is a star, not even a pentagram, with a silhouette above it. That would mean there is a small chance of summoning something every time someone drew a guy above a star. That'd be a lot of bored kids accidentally summoning demons with their notebooks. Given the common sense. So this is some kind of demonic resonance, I'm assuming. Is that what you're thinking? He shrugged, or rather, he looked at me and communicated a shrug through his silence. Ghosts don't require blood, demons do. Demon is the implication. So then why in God's name would a demon not clean up after itself? Mannheim interrupts that for a moment. Never personally known a demon to be a thorough cleaner, Mr. Spooky. Was that a joke? Wasn't expecting that. What would a demon get out of scaring someone, or anyone? It's a million miles away from a demon's best interests to be scary, or at least scary in this extremely specific way. Why is that? So questions Mannheim, talking as if he's beginning to suspect I'm spewing nonsense. You know what the quickest way to get a person to start praying is, Mannheim? Put a gun to their head. He responds with a short ah. I'm going to keep exploring. Thanks, Mannheim. If you had to speculate as to, after seeing this, I can say with 100% certainty it's not a ghost that's your problem. It's either a demon or a prankster. Are ghosts and demons not the same thing, Detective Spooky? I was labouring under the assumption that they were. Big difference is that a demon wants something from you, Mannheim. Whether it's your blood, your word, or your soul. They're selfish creatures. I have to sigh. The look of this place would be funny if it weren't so stupid and senseless. I'm already tired by this criminal, already sick of him or her. Thank you so much, Detective Spooky. Victor's fine. Or just Detective. Either way. Mannheim nods and allows me to leave. Ooh, it's all loud now. Let me punch this thing, because I need to actually pause for a second. Sit in really stupid positions and everyone's falling asleep. I'm back. Wee. Right. Oh, right, so we've got two directions to go. Whoa. Just got chill. There's something in the next room. Something dangerous. It's a boss. Well, hold on. I'm kind of actually low on health, so I'm going to go back and see if I can find like a save point or something. I got health back. Aha! Handy. Okay. I like those wee guys in their big funny shoes. Mouse, feck off. Ow. Oh. Ow. It's probably going to need a round two in it because I'm a clumsy bitch. Well, that and I was really not paying attention when I started this fight. Ah, see, that was very nice of you. Oh, well. Video games are hard. No, I'm just stupid. Oh. I died! Again! And my clothes didn't come with me. Better go get my clothes back before I speak to anyone else. People don't tend to cooperate well with disembodied voices. Oh, that's interesting. So I guess there's just no actual death. So are my clothes just in the room? Oh, there they are, that's cool. Yay. Okay. This time I'll actually pay attention. Ouch. I'll pay attention, immediately get smacked. Horizontal ones, I don't even know how I would avoid them in general. Other than take one and just kind of avoid the rest. Okay, I avoided them. And then I got hit by all the easy shit because I'm hasty. Oh, that was just stupid. Oh, he's red now. Oh no, I've done it in the wrong order. Oh well, I'm getting better at it anyway. If I could just stop being so hasty and clumsy in the first bit, I could probably better deal. Just take a moment to appreciate how freaking cute he is. It seems like the trick is just take 3 hits, retreat to the back wall. It's been enough time to react anyway. Oops. I love how enthused it is when it pecks you. Ooh, yep, shit. Hey, that one's a tough one. Oh no, he does double damage. Fickety fickety fick. Bringing these back just in time for me to die again, I guess. Oh. Phew. Man, I hate hearing it scream, poor thing. It'll be at peace soon. There's something to be said regarding the cojones of the bastard spreading this demonic crap. Doesn't make me like him any better. With the peacock's death, I can feel some of its demonic energy pouring into me. It's not a totally unpleasant feeling, though it doesn't make me feel completely wholesome either. Demons have this thing where they love to kill each other for power. So the way it works is, the power finds its way to whoever murdered the last inhabitant. This is some avian agility thing. I bet I can double jump now. That's definitely what it feels like. I should keep looking around this bird thing's side effect. This bird thing was a side effect, not related to my case probably. Locked door. Swear I didn't see it behind the peacock before. Damn. The door thing again. I'm going to have to find a way through that. Maybe double jump will help. Straight to the save point. I had to check actually unpaused it there. I wasn't sure. Oops. The great man him as I continue looking for anything that I missed. If you wouldn't mind, Detective, explain to me once more why you're so confident it's not the work of a demon. Oh sure, allow me to... Amscray. Oh, I had to watch back some of my recordings because it gave me that fucking overloading and coding nonsense. I do need to try and work out what that means one of these days, but I noticed on the Venice recording that, oh boy, you could just hear that pigeon. Oh. Is that I'm saying that because the pigeon's been about today, so if you hear... Sorry. Oh, something speaks. You startled me, says the figure in front of me. It, probably he, but who knows in this light, hadn't moved an inch. I don't get the idea that I startled him. My apologies. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. The man-creature scratches his chin with his left hand. I can't see his right hand. Seems to be an amputee of some kind. I knew, he continues after what might be mistaken for a breath, that eventually the proprietors of this house would send a problem solver. Maybe a policeman or a pest control guy. Would you happen to be that problem solver? Yep, you the problem? I am. Something red moves next to him, something that didn't catch my eye before. He turns to face me. I don't think you should try to stop me. His face is a gaping void, somehow darker than pitch-black walls around him. I'm given to a suspicion as to what he might be exactly. I imagine you wouldn't want me to stop you. It's not about want, my friend. Have you considered what it might mean to stop me? Have you begun to think what kind of precedent that would set? No, but you should know I don't play morality games with demons. You and I both know it's a waste of time. How do you know I'm a demon, Mr... Detective Victor Spooky? And you made it clear enough downstairs. Too clear, frankly. That whole song and dance is more confusing than anything. Alright, fine. He responds with a huff in his voice like I've offended him somehow. His tone shifts from moody to petty so quick it makes my neck ache. Since you're so smart, if you know I'm a demon, then you also know as well as I do that you can't kill me. For I, a small inhale and exhale, enters and exits the large swirling vortex in his skull. I'm deathless. Get a flair for dramatics. Don't want to kill you, just want to stop you and go home. Shockingly naive perspective for someone who gets paid to find murderers. Thought you'd know better. You only think you don't want to kill me. How would you know when you yourself haven't killed even one person for sport? I wonder if you're not worried that you might enjoy yourself. I have to roll my eyes. Well, now that just looks like something a psychopath would say. Sure, Victor, you can go ahead and keep telling yourself that. I probably will. You know, if you want the last word so badly, you can just ask for it. God, I hate you. I tell him to what is presumably his face. I've got to run, unfortunately, but we'll meet again soon, Victor. We'll meet again. Disappears into the black mist. What an asshole. He's only calling me with a first name to piss me off, and goddamn if it isn't working. As much as I feel like making that whole face a few inches deeper, gotta find out much more before I make my move against this guy. Better keep looking around. Hey, look at that. A key. Not a literal key. A phasma conceptual key. The idea of permission granted by a key. The physical becomes a spiritual and returns to physicality again. Should be able to unlock a door with this. And that just handy dandy for me. I wonder if I could have just took my coat off and had a different situation with him there. Oops. I must have hit the jump just after I went off the ledge there. Bonk. I am here now. Ouch. Ouch. Right, let's just... Do you know what, after all that it was pointless? Oh. Right, well I made it back to the demon. I'm taking off my coat to see if it changes the interaction. Figure... Yeah, it's the same. Well, basically at the point where I'm, because I can just through this. La 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 la. Well, that's just... Right, so note to self, don't jump up that way. If they were trying to implement a secret, it's not implemented. I didn't have to beat the boss or anything. Thankfully, it did save with that being dead. I reckon me speaking to that woman before was just... I had actually saved it with having spoke to her. But obviously it just triggers to speak to her again if you speak to her again. Bobby Ghost. I was a little frustrated that there was a checkpoint right there after that crash, but that will. Same. Does the map only update if I look at it? Is that what I'm getting here? Ouch. Well, one thing I noticed when I was doing the boss fight is that no, but just doesn't seem to want to update this bit of map. It's maybe just because, again, it's an early game, but whatever. The final hit has a bit of a forward momentum, that's how I kept jutting into the boss. Right, that's the save. I mean, there's obviously that, and the obvious that I'm a clumsy bitch, but, you know. No. Ouch. Okay, don't get caught by the alarming eye. Good lord, that is alarming. Bah! Well, they are rather startling, aren't they? Oh. I say as I approach him, as if this is someone I should have even be the least bit comfortable around. I can't help it. I've dealt with this type so often he feels like an old friend. Detective. Are you doing down here? Could ask you the same question. It'd be a stupid question. I'm investigating. This is one of the few places I'm allowed to investigate if I recall our earlier conversation correctly. Suppose you got your work cut out for you then. My ears perk up. Not only the implication that things up ahead may be more complicated than they currently appear, but that it sounds like Salazar wants to tell me something. Easy, Spooky. He might be teasing you. Go on. We're missing a housemaid. Not teasing, that's a shocker. Usually someone who's expressed this much contempt for me would love to dangle information over my head like a cat toy. Hell, I was expecting it. When you say missing, the other maid, Friday, claims to have not seen her all day. After a thorough search, she is missing from every room except one. And she's in that one, or taking her break outside. The room was locked, always has been. If it turns out that the maid, Constance, has been secreting away all this time, well, we, the staff, would all be very surprised. That's with your incorporeality, detective. Maybe we'll investigate that room in 100. Doesn't work that way. He says clearly no need of, or desire for, an explanation. Regardless, Salazar, I'm a little surprised you want me to investigate something. Made it pretty clear upstairs how unwelcome I am. As a man who is hired and paid to do things precisely as employer instructs, it is uncommon that I should hope to see the same out of you. He's calling me a bad employee. I'm actually a little bit offended by that one. Not at all. And if my employers instructed me to not enter an area, I'm certain they'd have dignity to tell me themselves, or at least tell me what the chain of command is. And for right now, I'm going to assume you're at the top of that chain. Hope I don't find out I'm wrong. You won't. I'm certain. Now, if you don't mind, of course, detective. Yeah, I'm going with no. Nope, I can't. I need to. Hello, friend. Sorry. It's staring at me. Set me on edge. From the angry breathing, I nearly said angry. From the angry breathing to the tense posture atop his invalid legs. This one is springing himself to attack me, no doubt. Demon. That's clear enough. Face shaped like a crescent moon. Eyes, too. Broken or otherwise unusable legs. Laboured breathing, twitching fingers, showing multiple signs of becoming a slave of sloth. Or in layman's terms, an imbecilic demon. Not to be taken lightly, though. Maybe 10 seconds at best before he attacks. If there was some peaceful out of this, I'm sure something would have hit me. No choice but to cowboy up. Let's have a row. So he has a little window of invincibility when he's priming to attack. Oh, yeah, wee shite. Crack. I hit him a little extra hard that last time, just as I'm right in the brain matter. Actually, I was expecting more of a fight. This thing only recently crawled out of whatever pit it came from. I'd put money on it. Old Crescent Moon faces a minion. doing the violent bidding of someone or something else. That will-o-wisp, I bet. I wouldn't have found Earth otherwise. It wouldn't have found Earth otherwise. Can you talk? It replies with the same back-of-the-throat gurgling that's been coming out of his gaping head since we started fighting. Then it begins to leave. Which I'm more than okay with, if I scared it off anyway. Which I'm more than okay with, if I scared it off anyway. If I really wanted to completely subdue this thing, I'd have to wail on it a little more. If it comes back though, we get a real problem. But for now, I'm clutching my pearls, praying that I can investigate for 5 months without some goddamn nightmare trying to catch me on my left foot. Here's hoping. Bonk. Seems like they just kind of threw me a sort of an easy boss there because there wasn't a save point. Ooh. Oh shit, that's right, these things just are annoying. What's here? A pair of crutches. Not dusty enough to have not been used in the past couple of years. Who was using these? Perhaps it's the elusive Mrs. Abernathy, whom Valerie claims is sick. Why is she not using these right now? It's worth asking around about. A bag full of soil, mulch, seed. A rake stood on its handle apparently to avoid comical mishaps. Not that I have to worry about that really. Some wood. Nothing. Try to avoid jumping. Whoop! I don't know what it is, but I wanted it. Yeah, 2 ways to go again. Well, that makes that decision easier. Ooh. It's a bat ball. Maybe shouldn't have double jumped there. I was allowed to leave that time, alright, cool. A new save point would like for there to be. Oh my goodness. A save point of some kind. Hi. We're just going to not bother with you. There isn't going to be a save point. Ugh, I suppose. That must feel nice. Okay, so he's back. This is a genuine problem. And the most I probably did to him last time was wake him up a little. Hey boy, up time. Can't wail on him as much before he goes invincible. Oh? Pardon me, sorry. Ah. I died. And I lost my bottle. Oh shite, where am I? No! I would just have to be naked the whole direction. Oh, something hit me there and I'm not sure what it was. Sorry, they things just inspire panic. Which I suppose is what they're for, but... what were we down there to go? Aye. A bottle came back and I do want it. Oh, I can get it without that, okay. I have no idea what it is. Can I see? General. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. Bonk. Ugh. A nauseating gurgle comes from somewhere inside its skull. It has a skull. I wasn't sure last time, but I felt it this time. Must have rattled something in there too, because he's taking his time getting up. But it does eventually get up. Looks like he's going to be a bit more cooperative now. Never make a demon sigil in a hurry, unless you want to summon something you didn't mean to. Or you want an arm lopped off by a closing portal. My personal practice is to wallop any troublemakers enough to make them sit still long enough to let me do my work. Unless I missed my guess, that dazed look in his eyes tells me he could use a break. Who could blame him? No, damn it all, no. Well, I suppose I missed my guess then. Not the end of the world, couldn't have gone far. This isn't anything special. That soft head of his is just taking a bigger beating than I expected it to. But yes, I had really better track him down now. I don't think he intends to leave without a fight. Hey. Oh, I'm too dead to be able to speak to her. Okay. Bat friend, can you respawn and give me a spirit health, please? Don't you fucking dare! No need to again! I am sick of being back here. And I'm back. I'm nearly at full health, so I should be able to speak to him. There we go. Easy, Victor. Hello, Miss Bordeaux. You actually in a slightly cheerier tone than my usual. With this level of anxiety, it's good to dispel, as quickly as possible, the idea that an anxious person is at all in trouble or some such. Detective, hello. Spooky's fine. Detective Spooky, how goes your investigation? Ups and downs. You don't mind that I keep poking around, do you? She shuts up quickly. I can't tell where the line is with these kind of people. Detective, I hope you understand I'm not preventing you from seeing Mrs. Abernathy out of malice or ill will. Never even occurred to me, until you fucking said it. It's very important that you not bother her. We can discuss this later, Miss Bordeaux, if you prefer. I would. Great. What brings you down here? Down here? Right, she probably doesn't see how corrupted the house has become. No one ever does until you show them. I mean, here, to the greenhouse. Just looking for a moment of peace and quiet, Detective. That's not an issue. With that, Valerie's problem with me becomes clear. Miss Bordeaux, I'm not the police. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. If I ask you any questions, and I would like to, very much so, for the safety of the house, you won't be legally obligated to answer any of them. Her face softens quietly. If I didn't tell her what she needed to hear, I'd put a $5 on having at least gotten close. I'm sorry, Detective, this nonsense regarding the disappearance has put me on edge. I could blame you. She smiles a little like that. Her smile fades quickly. She hurriedly switches to a worried and introverted frown, like it was a coat she had forgotten in the midst of a brutal winter. Detective, any questions that you have that are not regarding the lady of the house, I'd be willing to answer. Directions to the bathroom wouldn't go amiss. Another quick, strangely genuine smile. And another, even faster, returned to guarded hostility. Silent, waiting on questions, might as well. Are you aware of Constance's disappearances? What do you know about Constance the maid? I don't know much. I don't really talk to the maids here. June always tells me there's no harm in getting to know them, but I mean, they're not my servants and I hate being waited on. Are you aware that Constance has gone missing? I wasn't. For how long? Long enough to be strange. A few hours maybe. Not long enough to get worried over. Should I be worried? I think you worry enough for 10 people, Miss Bordeaux. We'll find her, don't stress yourself about it. She didn't take the crack as well as I was hoping. An inwardly focused huff is all I get before she's done with the question. What are you doing for a living? Used to be a wedding planner, actually. She can't keep the pride out of her voice as she says this. It was a very successful one too. I actually planned Mr. and Mrs. Abernathy's wedding. We held it right outside the manor. It was a pretty small get-together. Neither one of them has a lot of family to speak of, but Mr. Abernathy insisted on extravagance wherever he deemed appropriate. Multi-tiered cake. Both the Abernathys loved carrot cake. She continues for a bit regarding the wedding. Didn't mind at all. She's talking openly for the first time. Even tidbits like Mrs. Abernathy tried to talk Mr. Abernathy down from genuine silver utensils, but he insisted. Is she a werewolf and it's the full moon or something? Have a hard time bothering me when it's so sincere. By the way, if it sounds like I'm a little more than usual, it's I've got a big blister on the side of my tongue. Sorry. But, yeah. That's why I'm a bit more cleverer than normal. Whatever Valerie's guilty of, she's undeniably guilty of loving the art of wedding planning. But more importantly, she's speaking genuinely and leaking important information. Small families on both sides, not a lot of contact with the world outside this corner they've carved for themselves, making Winterfield Manor remote. Not exactly a hub of activity. I only interrupt Valerie for a moment to ask about a pet that hasn't shown up in the house before, but it came to nothing. A stray cat that July was taking care of that doesn't show up anymore. Eventually, sooner than I expected actually, Valerie's anxiety reasserts itself. She shuts up like she accidentally given me nuclear launch codes. Do you live here? How long are you staying, Miss Bordeaux? I suppose indefinitely. Would live-in house guest be appropriate moniker for your relation to the Abernathys? It would. Mrs. Abernathy seems to like having me around. How would you describe living with the Abernathys? Uneventful, at least until recently. You're referring to the disappearances detective. And would you describe it as good? Bad? I'd say good. I don't feel it'd be right to complain about my circumstances. Mrs. Abernathy likes having you... I thought he was talking about you describe it as good that the people were disappearing. Mrs. Abernathy likes having you around, you said. How about Mr. Abernathy? Or July, rather? We don't talk a lot, actually. He always offers to have food or drink mixed for me. Seems kind. June and July, for what little time they spend together, seem to be as happy a couple I've ever met. Notable. June and July on good terms comes off strange to me. I think of three reasons why. Either the immediate hostility of the house made the news of happy, uncomplicated relationship seem odd in comparison. Valerie's lying to me and I caught her on deception subconsciously, or the confidence with which Valerie has said contrasted too harshly with her usual wilting self-confidence. Nah, it's none of these, I'm overthinking it again. Just note the irregularity and come back to it. Nice and the price, spooky. Back to the conversation. Strange about the house's geography. Miss Bordeaux, right, sorry. Like the house itself? No, not really. Why? Wait, is the house haunted? She truly doesn't notice a thing. I'm not going to freak her out about it too much then. Possibly. Though I wouldn't bet on it. Everything here seems to have a perfectly logical explanation. Oh, phew. Never been good with ghost stories. I mean, like, scary stories. No offence taken, Miss Bordeaux. I'm personally a fan of a good ghost story on occasion myself. I don't need to tell her that when she goes back to her room, she'll probably enter one or two extra dimensional portals, walk up several different upside down staircases, not to remember a thing about it, and suffer at worst a headache. What good would that do? Ski-daddle. Let me know if there's anything you need, detective. I will. More guarded than ever. More guarded than even the most naturally anxious people I've spoken to. But she's less guarded than she was before. I imagine it will remain that way until I no longer need anything from her. Like getting her to move out of the damn way so I can explore the southwest wing. Diggity diggity. Look at my tail. It's a coat tail. Oops. Oh, for fuck's sake. I am not dying here again, game. Thank you. Jeez. Please be safe. Okay, Spooky. I know his weird, squishy skull is no fun to punch, but this time you really need to... Aye! He's leaving! Oh, this is bad. No, I really got to corner this goddamn thing. Oh, but he left a key. That's convenient. Crossing my fingers, that crescent moon face doesn't... That crescent moon face is behind the door that this unlocks. Ah, thank fuck, a save point. Health increased. I see. Did I just get pity health because I kept dying or something? Entirely possible. Oh, she's initiating conversation. Detective. Valerie calls out to me as I enter the room. Yes, Miss Bordeaux? Well, there. How goes your investigation on this wing of the house? That's not what she meant to ask me. Fine, I think I've almost got everything that I need. Will you be needing to search the recreational wing of the house? Of course. Would you be so kind as to return tomorrow? That would give me some time to speak to the lady of the house and confirm that she's feeling well enough to have, well, company. Afraid I can't do that. Mannheim impressed on me. Perhaps more than he meant to. The urgency of this investigation. I'll be needing everyone's cooperation in order to get to the bottom of these disappearances. Detective Spooky. Her voice takes a now pleading tone. Her guarded nature quickly gives way to what could be uncharitably referred to as begging. Please, I understand that you're a professional. You've got everyone's best interest at heart. I understand and appreciate that. But as a personal favour, could you please come back tomorrow? Odd. odd enough to not get my goat to be asked for a personal favour in the midst of a matter of life or death. Regretfully, I have to refuse. My sincerest apologies. Why? What? Why? Why can't you come back tomorrow? You're right. I should come back tomorrow. Another body might just be the evidence I need to wrap this case up for good. Well, there's no need to be rude. And there's no reason for you to play stupid. Been a hell of a welcome since I got here to do my job, Miss Bordeaux, and it's not my idea of a pleasant summer day to investigate a house that doesn't want me here. You'll have to forgive me if being summoned to a house for the sole reason of investigating a potential murder spree, only to be told to not be too thorough about it, offends my professional sensibilities. I'm merely asked for a day's absence, and something tells me you're not the one fronting the bill for me to be here, so I'm going to go ahead and take that with a grain of salt. I've had too many cases lately. I'm going soft. I don't think this nut's going to be cracked unless I start applying a little force. She's staring, shaking a little. Fine, if that's She shuts up again. She's not overly practiced in sudden confrontation. She doesn't say a word. She turns away from me to leave, walking straight into the wall. The house is so deeply corrupted, I wouldn't be surprised if she were already far gone enough to start scaling walls. Yep, there she is, walking casually upwards. Probably still believing she's walking down the greenhouse she's used to, and she's gone. Where was that door? That was this way. Damn it. I didn't get that bottle this time. Hold on. I'll go get that bottle. Okay, so weirdly enough, I made my way back up here and the bottle isn't there. Oh, is that what gave me the health up? Right. Okay, so if you get one of them and take it to a save point, you get health up. Good to know. Good to know, good to know, good to know. I have learned an thing. Punch. Normal. Oh no. Brian, why would you... No, not for the sake of a gag. Don't do this game. On the plus side, it really doesn't take long to get caught up when I can do the entire conversation like this, you know? One thing I do have to note is that every time I die... sorry, no, not when I die. That was wrong. When I reload, I'm going to get my health back while I'm talking. My map gets cleared. So you see, if I look at the map, that's all I've got on it. And I don't think my health up saved properly because I can't seem to fill my health anymore. Well, whatever. It's not a big thing. Well, would you look at that? An actual demon summoning. An Abyssian summoning sigil, 4 candles, 1 unlit, extremely specific locations, a blood letter, presumably the maid, hung up on the ceiling corner. She's probably still having blood siphoned out of her, which explains how this little fella keeps growing more powerful. Thankfully, he's sitting on top of his recall point. There's no teleporting away from me this time. Dukes up, crescent moon face, last call for blood. Time for you to go home. Oh. I like that one because you can literally just wail on him. nice. Think he's going to stay still this time. I don't get it. It's a teleportation. There shouldn't be anything painful about it, and yet, every time I send a demon home, they writhe and scream if they're capable. And act like they're in great pain. The only explanation I can think of is that they're faking it. That's it. I sometimes get a little numb teleporting somewhere, but it never hurt. Crescent Moonface is doing it like all the others. And whatever kind of pain he's in, he sure is in a lot of it. Madam? How you hanging in there, Constance? Fine, now that I've had a moment to catch my breath. You're still out a lot of blood. I'd give up on getting any work done today. Perhaps I shall. Normally I'd put up a fight. I'm just sure of it. But for whatever reason, though, I find myself ill-equipped to disagree. For whatever reason, she says. Thank you ever so much for saving me, Detective. Again. You can stop thanking me, Constance. I'm just glad you're okay. I find myself overcome with gratitude, though. You asked that I should simply ignore these intense feelings and pray they'll leave on their own. I'm asking you to understand I'm only doing my job. And that's the end of the... And that's... At the end of the day, I'm getting paid for this. Regardless, you saved my life, and thank you. This woman is being exceedingly kind. Regardless, she's a handful. Claire has a lot to say, and I'm sure she's a different lady when you haven't just saved her life. A grateful voice. It's nice to hear, though. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to repay you. There is. Would you let me know the moment you're feeling up to answering some questions? I'm ready right now. Constance, don't argue, Detective. I prefer to start immediately. You know what, I'll take it. I understand you must be feeling, none of that, Detective, none of that. You saved my life. Least I could do is answer your questions. You're too kind. What do you recall the past couple of hours? I've been trying to answer the same question since I came to. I'm afraid the answer won't be very gratifying or helpful. Regardless, I was cleaning here in the greenhouse. This room? A different room. I believe I was wiping down the orchid planters, if that was relevant. It isn't. But the last thing I want Constant to do right now is skimp on the details. My mind was a serenely blank canvas. I was as focused on my job as I am on my best days. Just my luck that something would go so dreadfully wrong. I remember that I was frozen with terror before I understood what was happening to me. A pair of hands gripped me by my shoulders from behind. The two hands were so different, though, as if they belonged to two separate but equally terrifying men. Go on. My right shoulder, a firm, unfeeling, cold grip, locks around my bones the same way a manacle might. My left shoulder, a human grip, but cold and clammy, thin, the faintest heartbeat, sickly but strong. They move with synchronicity, I suppose you would call it, and it felt as though I were dragged into slumber. I had horrid dreams, none that I can remember too well. The dreams are never, ever helpful. If you can attempt to forget whatever dreams you had during that time, you'd probably be better off. I concur. And after that, and, well, you're there for the rest of it, Detective Spooky. Got it, thanks. Noticed anything else strange? Nothing else about the house different at this point? Other than the changes to this room? Yeah, besides the... Don't name it. Yeah, besides that. I suppose not. If I notice anything, Detective, I'll be sure to contact you as soon as possible. Would you? Of course. Perfect. She wouldn't notice, not unless I pointed it out. What are your opinions on Winterfield? To me, it seems as though you've got a decent bird's eye view of the manor as a maid, and a hard-working one at that, Detective. Agreed. With ghosts come filth. If she were able to clean up the filth around here faster than a ghost can produce it, she would be the first. What are your impressions on Winterfield Manor and its inhabitants and its general dynamic? Disagreeable? You're the first to tell me that. Of course I am a detective. I'm the one who's seeing things as they are. Is that pertaining to the residents or the staff? Both. The staff sorely lacks a sense of unity. Tried my best to rally the troops, as one might say, but the other maid, Miss Foster, on whom I must depend until I convince Mr. Abernathy to hire additional help, sees herself above strict regiment and hard discipline. It's a disgrace. Salazar Pereira is a hard worker, yes, but has the bedside manner and etiquette of a fishmonger with a cold. Edward Mannheim, he could be a great butler if he weren't so solitary. He tends to July with openness and hospitality, where the rest of us, residents and staff alike, have trouble finding him most of the time. Tell me about the residents. Well, simply put, it's time to get down to brass tacks regarding Miss Valerie Bordeaux. Wait. What brass tacks? I shouldn't gossip, but Mr. Abernathy believes Valerie Bordeaux to be a bad influence on Mrs. Abernathy. However, the lady of the house prefers having her around. I find that the two may be avoiding an argument about it, but an argument may be the best thing to have, instead of this terrible sense of unfinished business that seems to surround the young Miss Bordeaux. Anything particular against Miss Bordeaux? She's no social butterfly, but I've not the slightest reason to dislike her. I only wish the best for the house. I only wish the best for the house. It's Mr. Abernathy that seems to have a negative impression of Miss Bordeaux. Fascinating. Vamos. Constance, thank you. Think nothing of it, detective. Come find me if there's anything else I can answer for you. The plot thickens. Oh, for goodness sake. Oops. Sorry, I wasn't saying anything because I meant to hit my pause button. Sorry. Spoke to Salazar on the way past and it seems like something's... Would you happen to know whose crutches those are in the other room? I'm sorry, no. No idea? None. Got a suspicion that they might have been Mrs. Abernathy's. Valerie implied that she may be sick. I'm not sure why Miss Bordeaux would say such a thing, detective. Mrs. Abernathy is in perfect health. No kidding. Valerie wouldn't allow me passage to the southwest wing to speak to her. Perhaps the lady of the house simply doesn't want to speak to the help at the moment, detective, and Miss Bordeaux is making excuses for her. I can hardly imagine why not, with what they're paying for my time. As with me, detective, if you don't mind, don't let me stop you. The plot thickens. Oh. Just try to be thorough and murder and everything. Whoop! God, these things are really good at making panic. That'd be a real interesting custom mode. It's not enemies, it's just eyeballs. Eyeballs and spike puzzles. Right, let's not go that way again, because we know what happens when I go that direction. Don't know why I took my call off. Hello! Do you have anything else? I agree. I'm scary. Well, that inadvertently helped me. What was this direction again? Was this the first fight with oh no, this is the encounter with the bitch. My throat hurts. Yeah. Ah, right, you need to die. By the time I take my hand off the control, it scratched my eyeball. See, the problem I have right now is that because my map deletes itself when I have to restart the game, I can't remember exactly which way I'm wanting to go. Oh, checkpoint. Nope. Seems like the AI for them is a bit wonky. If it would be time for them to shoot, when they die, they still shoot an invisible bullet. Because that's a couple of times I've been hit in a similar manner. There's been nothing there, but I've taken damage. Right. Oh god. Detective. Bitterness lines her voice like she's had time to rehearse her lines and remind herself she's right to be pissed off. I need to get her out of the way, and I don't think I've got a good enough handle on things to make her budge. Gonna require long talking to. Should I give it a try anyway? Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's have it out then. You seem on edge. My friend is terribly ill, Detective. I'm sure you can understand my discomfort. Undoubtedly. Would you mind if I were to swing a few questions your way? You know, since I've got you here. Ask away, Detective. I'll answer whatever I'm at liberty to discuss. I know we've both got nothing but time. Dandy. So, one more time for the record. June Abernathy's under the weather? Without question. What's the doctor's diagnosis? None yet. We live in a pretty remote area, Mr. Spooky. Gonna take some time for a doctor to fit us in for a house call. That, and it hasn't been that much time since she's come down with her sickness. A little extra time to rest and receive diagnosis would be just what the doctor ordered, yes, thanks. No power play when I see one. Victor, don't engage her on this point, no matter how infuriating it is. Miss Bordeaux, let's discuss this sickness. What are her symptoms? We're not at liberty to discuss them. Dry throat, runny nose, fever, headache, cough. I'm not at liberty to discuss her symptoms, Detective. Damn, she knows what a trap looks like. The less she says, the better for her. I don't love that she recognises that. She's being evasive. Let's get to the point. Let's pin her on something she can't wiggle her way out of. Ah, right, okay. I should probably say what my plan is. I'm going to go back and speak to Friday. Oh, hello there. weird. I'd expected something to come of that. Well, now I'm kind of at a loss. So what I'm learning is the game's not very stable. I went to look at my map for a little bit and then went to the bloody bathroom and So, you know, it was deleting all my stuff when I reloaded, so it seems like rather than fix it to death, put in a way to just re-add them all. So I'm going to go through all these quickly and then I'll go and confront Valerie. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure where my clothings went. I didn't die or anything. I said the game just went kind of wonky because I stayed on my map for a little too long. I think I was maybe getting hit while I was on my map or something, and that's what's done me in. So my clothing will be back here somewhere. Shit, my clothing might be over by Friday's room. Bugger, well, now I need to go find my clothes, don't I? So I found my clothes. I don't think that you're actually paused when you're paused. Or on the map, I should say. I think I've just let something batter me while I was on the map screen. That's why I respawned. But whatever, we're back to it now. I'm going to speak to Mannheim up the stairs first. Obviously, I'm going to pet the dog first, that's important business. Sir, any chance July anytime soon? Quite busy, I'm afraid you'll have to wait. Gotcha. Never mind then. Let's try this bump again. Let's have it out then. June's not sick. Salazar says. Burp, burp, burp. Well, let's start. I've been hearing rumours from the staff. You hold Do you hold frivolous rumours from the cleaning crew as high priority, detective? Oh, she did not. Oh, she should not have said that. That was a slip up I can use. I do, in fact, Miss Bordeaux. Information is my business, and the staff here are just as much people as you or I. Do you disagree? No, I agree, of course. I was only saying that I'm close with June. I would hope that you would take my word when I, regardless of your opinion of the working class, Miss Bordeaux, it's come to my attention that there are some who believe June Abernathy is in perfect health. Mr. Spooky, I was only implying that direct reports from both Friday Foster and one Salazar Pereira that June's seemingly fit as a fiddle. Or should I disregard what they have to say? Yes, you should. No. Not because of staff, that's not what I mean. I keep my trap shut. Never interrupt your opponent when he or she is making a mistake. No, Detective Spooky, listen to me. I continue to catch her gaze. I have nothing against the staff. Is that what you believe I was implying, Miss Bordeaux? June and I are close friends. She's the only reason I'm not on the street. I sympathise with the staff greatly. I do. Sympathy, huh, Miss Bordeaux? For working pretty normal jobs. They're just people. I don't know why you have so much trouble getting that. Easy, Spooky. You're overplaying your hand because she got your goat. Eyes in the prize, stupid. Detective, you've been remarkably unkind. I think it's pretty unfair that you let rumours spread by your busy employees. Outweigh the word of her friend. I've got 2 to 1 that say she's a picture of health. I understand that, Detective, but while the staff was busy doing their job, I was tending to her. It's absurd that I should even be fielding these obvious falsehoods. Let me through that I can see her, or at least let me through so I can keep investigating. Well, not, Detective. So there. I understand. Alright, Miss Bordeaux. My sincerest apologies for being rude. As you may understand, this is a matter of life and death. But I understand that you've got to stand up for your friends, especially when they're as sick as June Abernathy must be. And I know a good friend when I see one. Wait, what? I'm sorry to have upset you, Miss Bordeaux, truly. Oh, it's quite alright, Detective Spooky. I understand you're only doing your job. Thank you, Miss Bordeaux. I'm very grateful you continue to be cooperative despite my manners. It's no problem, Detective. Valerie's fine. Okay, fine. She wants to corner herself in a hole and insist upon a lie, far be it from me to stop her. Gina's probably totally fine, but if assuming she's sick as we're going to play this, I can use it. Play my cards right, Valerie's just hands me a rope I'm going to hang her from. Figuratively speaking, of course. On to my next question, Miss Valerie. I did get rid of that. Go back to Juno's not sick. Gotta do that. What would make most sense here? Common sense and demon summoning? Ooh, I don't know. Ability things. Hello. But I need evidence then that people don't like her, so I'll get 2 notes to the contrary that she's not sick. Fishy demon summoning. Summoning in June is sick, apparently. Valerie, you understand there have been strange happenings in Winterfield as of late? I do. Are you aware of an attempted summoning in the basement? No, I wasn't. It's not pretty. What appear to be bloodstains and some extremely cryptic, dangerous messaging. I know damn well that it's bupkis summoning. That it's a bupkis summoning. The question is, do I tell her that? Do I play off the fact that it was clearly a spoof by an unwelcome guest, or do I use the demonic implications to set her off guard? Someone very stupid has attempted to scare the house guests, or attempting or assisting a demon summoning. I'll go with the very stupid, she seems quite prideful. It was designed to appear to be a demon summoning. I don't think it's a legitimate summoning. It appears to have been a show by someone trying to spook some of the house guests. Regardless, someone made a very bloody, very intimidating mess downstairs. I'm worried about the state of mind of anyone who'd attempt such a strange and sinister and sadistic act. Trust me, detective, so am I. Yes. Is there... I can help, or is there any question I can answer regarding this summoning? The uptight and anxious don't usually like to ask, what does that have to do with me? And that's definitely the idea. Well, Valerie, there are a number of strange things going on here. Someone has attempted to, let's say, change the ecosystem of the house, summoning or otherwise. I would naturally question everyone's motives, having a hard time believing that June Abernathy's recent illness isn't somehow connected. Wait, connected to the summoning? Yes. No matter what the story is downstairs, someone's not acting in good faith. If June's sick, it's very, very like this someone's fault. She didn't like that at all. Do you have any evidence that could point us to a possible perpetrator? The question was distinctly not, do you have any suspects? She knows I suspect her within a framework of June's sickness, though all I really suspect her of right now is lying. I do. Scrap of evidence. Anything. Even a character witness that points Valley's direction might be enough to give her a damn heart attack right now. I think I know exactly what to use. Oh shit, okay. Right, so we're back to this again. Valerie, heart attack with an accusation. June isn't sick and you done a bupkis summon. Demon. Full play, June is not sick. Right, full play is definitely something Constance. No. Full play and bad. That should have made sense. Speaking of demon summonings, Valerie, Constance told me that there has been friction between you and July Abernathy, the man of the house. And one day, someone summons a demon downstairs, and June is deathly ill. Valerie Bordeaux, what have you done with June Abernathy? Me? No, never. It's not like that. You've left me no choice but to assume the worst, Valerie. Because now, at best, you're at least responsible for trying to summon a demon within Winterfield, or at worst, actually, best most likely, she's just lying to me. But this is what happens when you labour under a lie. No, I'm not poisoning June. I'm not summoning a demon. I'm not. Say it. Things are piling up, Val. I've been hired to clean up your mess. Say it. No, detective, you've got it. It's not. Say it. It's not what it looks like, I swear. Bingo. I think it's exactly what it looks like, Valerie, especially after hearing that you're not welcome by half of the household. It's not, July's not, he and I are fine. No, you know, I'm not perfect, but okay, I'm sorry, I lied to you about June. She didn't want to be bothered, and she was depending on me to keep people away. Pretty long lengths to give your buddy some peace and quiet. She's sick, detective. It's just not what you think it is. It's important that she not be bothered. Not as important as my making sure you're not hiding a body behind you, Valerie. Step aside. Fine, I'll move. She steps aside with infuriating slowness, and I am finally given access to the southwestern wing of Winterfield Manor. Her heavy, potent, and heaving sigh reeks of annoyance and defeat. I almost feel bad for her. Only almost. There we go. Thank you so much for playing Deep Night Detective Chapter 1. If you'd like to support the game further, be sure to leave a review with your honest thoughts. Code error as soon as I fucking... Okay, say it, doesn't he? The game seems to have a lot of bugs. If you're going to go for this one, play it in one sitting, don't do what I've done. Because it seems to... If you save and reload, there seems to be all sorts of bugs. Because not only was my map disappearing, a lot of the clues that I'd got that were tied into the map and previous conversations buggered up there. That being said, the developer's obviously somewhat aware of it. By pressing the R key, they all reloaded and I was able to do that. And it was all the clues that I had prior to that anyway. So, yeah, I love this game. It's really, really good. Really, really fun. The bosses are cool. The Crescent Moon Demon is a bit of a weird fight because when he's at his easiest, it was also kind of at his hardest. Because when he's doing his leap around, he's got like a invincibility window. Whereas if you position yourself right when he's doing the spikes, you can just wail on him. And especially in that third phase, actually, that was probably the easiest it was, because when he's channeling those 3 spikes to fly towards you, you can just spam the uppercut at him. He takes a crap load of damage, and all the obstacles, projectiles, are just destroyed. So, yeah. The Peacock was a good fight, though. That was really cool. And that's about all I can say. This will be the end of this one. Link to the game in the description if you want to play this. Again, this chapter's just a sort of early demo before the full game's out. You just play the chapter 1, then hopefully the full game will be out soon. Yeah, good luck, take it easy.